What's up, everybody? It is Mike with Daily Stock Fix, here to make a quick recap of the trade I just made. I'm really upset. I'm really upset right now. Not necessarily because I took a huge loss. It's more that I really chose the absolute bottom to sell this fucking stock on, to cut my losses. And really, it was just a result of me not really respecting my designated risk. Continue to constantly change my hypothesis during the time. It's nice when it's uptrending, but when you first get into a stock, you should stay with your initial risk, and not try to justify. Oh, I should get down here. I should get down here. When you're doing that, you probably shouldn't be in the trade at all, or you put yourself in a spot where it's forcing you to do that, and that's why I took the loss that I did. So let me explain what happened. All right, I'm gonna take you through this little journey of mine to go through every single step throughout the day. So today in the morning, I slept through it. I didn't really want to trade this morning, specifically because I was studying my ass off last night, watching. I've been watching all the DVDs again. Recently, like from the basics. We're talking about penny stocking part 2, short stocking, Tim fundamentals part 2, Tim tactics, Tim raw, and now I'm in Tim raw then Tim tactics. Sorry, now I'm in Tim tactics, and I have like one more DVD that I have to finish on Tim tactics, and then I can move on to all the other ones, such as how to read SEC filings, how to read level 2, what else is it? Trading tickers, trader checklist, how to make all of those. I actually already saw how to make minutes. So what I typically do is that every about 6 months I look at these DVDs again, and I'm just trying to stay. Basically, they're refreshers, so that I'm not trying to deviate from the strategy too much. So yes, it's helped. As you guys have seen, now I have more defined executions and not trading every single day, which is good. But this trade here is just something I couldn't get on looking right now. I'm still on freaking Wi-Fi, not even on Wi-Fi, my freaking hotspot. So, like I said, I'm not in that situation to be trading now, but I'm learning, still learning, even after being with Tim for 2 years, and every trader still learns. But this is definitely another one of my bread and butter patterns. I've been talking about this pattern for a whole year, especially since I've made this Instagram account. If it ever freaking loads, I've been talking about this for sure. So what am I connected to? Wow, my hotspot is absolutely awful. Thanks, T-Mobile. Thank you, friggin' military that has a force field around the entire base that doesn't allow any reception to come into the base. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I would load Instagram just to show you guys what I'm trying to tell you, but right now it's just not cooperating once again, just like yesterday. So you could just hear it in my voice of how upset I am, not just because of my loss, but also because of the fact that I don't know if I've told you guys this, but yes, I am a Tim Sykes student in terms of Tim Sykes is my teacher. However, I am not subscribed to any of his material. I'm not in the How to Make Millions. Not How to Make Millions. I'm not in the Millionaire Challenge, and I'm not in any of his subscriptions. I'm all just based off the content. Of course, they're gonna try to sell me something like you should be in the Millionaire chat, but I don't have the time. I just don't have the time for that shit. So I'm not gonna do it. Maybe when I get out of the military and I find extra time, sure, I'll go for it. The reason why I'm so upset is because I found out that Tim Sykes was actually long on DXTR, and of course I don't have the subscription to him, so I can't see what his entry was, right? But I was able to see through some scouring through the Profitly website that he did buy at 115 at 1:15 Eastern, p.m. Eastern. And the reason why 1:15 p.m. Eastern is so crucial or so important to me is because I want to show you my tweet. All right, and I mentioned this on yesterday's video also, something about 1:15, but I never really went into it. Or it was like 1:30 and 1:15 p.m. Eastern. I never really went in depth with it because I just forgot while blabbering so much. But here it is. DXTR moving to breakout and gap fill. This is 3 hours ago. So this was, it's right now. It's 14:31 Eastern, which is 2:31 Eastern. So 3 hours ago, I said that DXTR is moving to breakout and gap fill, which is this pattern. I'll go in depth with what that is. And then I mentioned EPTI. And then here at 3 hours ago, also just around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, I said, see you all at 1:15 p.m. I'm not even going to be tempted to trade midday DXTR. So of course, DXTR is still on my watch list. Still my top watch, because I could look at AVEO, and that thing went from red to green, but it didn't really move much. So it wasn't too much of a, it wasn't really interesting, and everything else really wasn't moving, or it would have been chasing because they're on the like second or third green day from a breakout. So I'm not going to try to buy those. That's just not my patterns. And then 1:15 p.m. 1 hour ago. Now we really 1 hour 15 minutes ago. I said 1:15 p.m. Where I don't know why I wrote where DXTR is making moves. 1 second. Yeah, guys, I'm currently at work right now, so so DXTR is making moves, closing to the points to the 35-cent breakout. Now I want to go over the breakout real fast while the market's still open, so you guys know I'm not, I'm actually doing this. It's not like I'm all doing it at the market close. So here's the breakout I'm talking about at 35.95. More a little bit higher. Let's look at this candle here. This candle high was, you can see at the top, 36. So exactly 36. So let's put it there. That's safe enough. Okay. So 36 is a high. And I did say 30, 35, 36-ish. So then right after that, I entered, right? And I'm going to explain where I entered. I entered right there-ish. No, that's too soon. I entered right there, 3550, right around there. And that was my entry. And the reason why I decided to enter on that spot is because I told myself, all right, if I buy at 350 or 35 cents, I'm risking down to 34 cents. I'm risking $1.50 a share off of a 30. Sorry, not $1.50. 1.5 cent risk, and my potential reward is up to the 41s. I think I mentioned that also. Potential reward is to 40, right? Realistically, it's 41, which is why I have the alert way up here, just because that's the end of the gap. But I do 40 because I know people are going to start selling in anticipation to the gap, and I like to take profits before that happens. So potential reward is at 40, and then when it came down here and it bounced around the 34s, I mentioned strong support at 34. Right. So clearly, this is the afternoon high of day breakout. That's why yesterday's video I said pay attention to these stocks at 10:15. 10:15 is when you need to be here because you can see this volume spike, likely due to Tim Sykes buying. He probably bought. I don't know what time he bought yet or what price he bought, but if it was me guessing where he bought, it's right here at 33.85. He bought on the C of the ABCD pattern. So. If he did, kudos on him, and he definitely has more patience than I do. But I just, I didn't want to take a bigger loss. And from what I saw here, the volume had faded so much. You can see we had a nice head and shoulders. Let me zoom in here. Let me get rid of all that noise there. All right. So here we go. Let me zoom in closer. So here we have that breakout. Started pushing higher, then it came down, made a high, and then it made a double, like a head and shoulders action, right? And that's when I was ready to sell, right here. You can see a straight line of support soaring right through, 34.48, 34.50s. And if it cracked that, my idea was to sell, even though you can see like even before the video started, I had the line down here at 43.34, but on my Twitter I had 34 exactly as risk. I didn't say like 34.50, it was 34. So like I said, didn't respect my risk, and I'll show you the Instagram post. And soon after that, right after I sold, that was my sell candle there. Right after I sold, green candle, big green candle, and it just started consolidating right above my sell, and then it started ramping up, and now it broke out, and now it's continuing, and now we are kind of consolidating above the breakout level. What it's going to do now, I don't know, but I would have sold, had I still been long on the stock, I would have sold at the 38s, definitely around the 38s. I was looking to sell at 37, like right at 37, right there. I was looking to sell, and I have this in the Instagram. So now that you see this, you see like any idea what price Tim bought at, and no one has replied because of course I only have 12 fucking followers, and no one gives a shit of what I talk about except you guys. Thank you for watching the video. So let me show you what I posted on Instagram. Let's see. All right, took a loss on DXTR, bought this afternoon high of day break at 355. So of course, had I bought exactly on the high of day breakout right there at 34.39 or basically 34.50s, I probably would have allowed a lot more risk. And actually, my risk would probably been smaller than what I have if I'm buying up here at the 35.50s, right? Right there at 35.50s, because here I have that much risk, right? So we have about a whole cent of risk. If I bought here, I'm doing like a half cent. I'm probably risking off of these tops right around here. If it breaks below these tops, it's a failed breakout, and I'm out. But of course, I decided to buy here, risk off higher, and that's why you need to find that proper risk reward based on how you play these breakouts. And I got into the wrong one. So this is a major daily breakout gap fill. Let me explain what that is. All right, so let's go to the daily chart. Daily chart is the breakout. Breakouts right there on 34.87 is the major daily breakout, right? And not only is it that breakout there, but it's also a gap fill all the way to 41. The reason why it's a gap fill is because if we go back in time, you can see from that breakout and basically this entire section from there to there. Maybe I can make a channel. Maybe. So from there, not gonna work, is it? Nope. All right, so that's not gonna work, gents. So don't worry about it. But I hope you can see the channel. I really hope you understand what I'm trying to say. But basically, the gap is from there to there. So that entire thing is potentially profits. Now, I normally don't hold the entire thing because historically I've seen that these things, they hit this support here and then they come back down. That just happens. Yes, I've seen a couple of them that continue soaring past this, but I'm not in for that. I'm in for the predictable part of the move, of course, right? Predictable part of the move. But that's a gap fill. So this is what I call balance play / gap fill / major daily breakout. I like it when they break out past this high. You can see the top here, and there, and even something like right around there. You can see as soon as it broke past that on high volume, it went from 26 all the way to 32. And had the volume been a lot greater, it would have gone all the way to the 40s. But we don't see the pre-market action and the aftermarket action between these 2 days. Maybe there's a lot of selling pressure around here, or some clear resistance around this area. We can't tell. Maybe if I go 20 days, it'll show. Let us see. No, it's too far. So here on the hourly chart, you can see that clear breakout over 35 now. but now it already retraced everything back down. So like I said, that's why I like selling before the 40s, just exactly because of this reason. So if it was my guess, Tim Sykes was selling up here at the 37s, making, if he bought at 34 and he sold at 37, he makes 3 cents a share profit, 3 cents a share off a $30 stock. He made a nice 10%. So I'm gonna definitely learn from this. Probably not be as scared. I'll try to look for better risk to reward setups. That way I'm not freaking out and cutting my losses too early. Like I said, me buying down here, I feel a lot more confident buying around the breakout level and risking down here somewhere and making sure that it is a confirmed fake out breakout than me buying up here and then risking all the way down here, but also some. Then my risk is double. So it's unfortunate, but this pattern has worked. Maybe if I look around here somewhere, I can find more of these type of charts, because I know I've uploaded these charts plenty of times. I've played them plenty of times. Here we go. Here's one just recently. So ASNA, up 3 green days for my buy alert, roughly 25% since I announced it on Instagram. I'm happy to see that pattern still works. So it still works. This pattern works, and you have to understand that. I remember, I'm pretty sure in penny stocking part 2, penny stocking part 2, Tim Sykes goes over this pattern. And also in How to Make Millions, he goes over this pattern, and he calls it the bad sushi play. Now, that is true, but also you have to wait for the breakout to happen, and then your odds are better. If you're buying it in anticipation to the breakout, kind of like I did, then you run the risk of getting stopped out. So there we have that. Let's see if I have another picture of how it looked before that. Here it is on the day that it's trying to move. ASNA is moving major daily breakout, bounce play, and gap fill, considering a long position on a dip. You want to buy on dips. And then you can see here, I said, like, damn it, I missed it. I was driving K jitters as a dip happened. So this thing is not, this is not a new pattern. I don't know if any of you guys pay attention to it, but I've been doing this pattern for about a year now, because the one biggest winner that I remember that was a gap fill / bounce play was AQXP, Equinox Pharmaceuticals, I believe is what it was called. And I'll go over that before the end of the video, because it is a clear breakout, and that's what can happen when you have a low floater. The float for this company, DXTR, is 8 million, and AQXP at the time that it had the gap fill / bounce play was like 600,000 float, and then it had earnings and also press release about some pharmaceutical stuff. So it had a lot of things, tailored that were going for it to spike. This thing, it released news. For me, this news isn't amazing. Shares up over last minute as traders circulating U.S. PTO abstraction showing patent for surgery. So it's like a news about patent. It isn't amazing news, but it's news nonetheless, and that's why it might be able to hold the 35s and have a secondary spike tomorrow, maybe a gap up or something like that. But I don't know. I try to take the predictable part of the move, and my executions were just bad, and which caused me to panic a little bit faster. Let's see if I can find one more pattern like that, just for argument's sake here, because I know that's not the only one. You guys gotta look at these charts, man. Yes, I may not be the best at executing these trades, but the charts that I look at, they work, and you just have to find a better way to trade them than I do, because I'm not the best trader. I never had the mentoring like Tim Sykes's, like the trading challenge. So I'm still learning by myself, but I think I'm doing pretty damn well learning by myself, because so far I've had a lot of success, especially in the December, the bullish market from December, November, January, February, March. That was huge success there, and I can't wait for the same thing to happen this upcoming year. Let's see if we can find some. Here's another one, MBRX. This one I took a loss on. So this one was not. This was a bad bounce play, and I'll explain why. So it took a loss on MVRX. I initially bought the stock because it was a major multi-day breakout with a blow-off top volume, and was looking for overnight hold as long as it can hold its breakout before market close. I was undisciplined on my sell because I failed to respect my initial risk. Oh my God, look, the same thing. I didn't learn from my mistakes. So, yeah. So my initial risk. I have a problem respecting it. Also, the breakout level and the trailing support line draw as orange. Once that support broke, I convinced myself that the risk was actually 35, drawn as a purple line, and then finally took a loss when that broke. So if the chart ever loads, we can go over it. But you can clearly see here, if it ever loads, let's see if I can zoom in. Maybe if I zoom in, no, it's not gonna work. Nope, not cooperating. Oh yeah, the internet. An amazing military internet. Oh, that's ASNA. Wow, did I lose it, guys? Did I really lose it? Bear with me. No. Nope. Nope. Yeah, so I hope you were able to see that chart. Oh, here's another one, OCRX. Beautiful. Maybe this one could load. Did bought OCRX on intraday support long 105, risking off of 95. I've traded this pattern in the past many times. A multi-month breakout gap though. So it's the same pattern, right? Has a great volume and a flow of 15 million shares. It's all news of big ass buyers appearing on level 2 looking to make 20-30 cents a share. Exactly what happened at the end of this, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's this post here. I was long it overnight. So, man, there's so many examples. You guys just need to look at it. Really, just look at the Instagram, look for these same plays, because I do have a lot of daily charts. So definitely something you could study and hopefully figure something out that I'm fucking doing wrong. Because, it's not the first time that I've done it wrong. So just to finish off the video, I want to show you really what the potential is for these gap fill. Remember, the market still has 12 minutes before it closes. No, about like a lot longer than 12 minutes. Yeah, an hour and 12 minutes. So I definitely bought really, really early. And it definitely has potential to go up to 40 now that I consider how much longer it has. So we're going to go to AQXP. This is one of the first ones that I traded. Oh, and I didn't trade, I paper traded. Back when I was starting in 2015. Let's see, 2015, we're going to go over to August 7th. So this is pretty much the potential with these stocks, with these gap fill plays and major daily breakouts on these beaten down stocks. Right. So you can see this crazy uptrend. That's an old line. You can see the crazy uptrend, and we're gonna go to daily. All right. So prior to this day, you can see here's that breakout level. If I can draw it. We have that breakout level at 382, and not only that, after it breaks past the 213, it's pretty much the next resistance point is up here at 37, at 3.7. Man, I need to get better at talking about prices. So the next resistance is at 3.79. If it breaks past that, you can see if we go out to the 3-day chart that there is no resistance up to this point here at 356, and after that it's up to like there-ish, and then after that to 645s, 650s, 649. So in other words, since you can see this has earnings, right? Not only that, it had a press release also about its drug, and it soared from 240 all the way to 380s. Now you would assume maybe before it hits the 4s, it comes back down. So you have to anticipate the whole number of resistance. But you can also buy on, since it's the earnings play, you buy on the morning, the breakout over the morning high, right? So like the first 30 minutes, when it makes a high, it comes back down, it pulls back. Let's see if I can actually go to the minute chart and show you what that is. And I typically do this with earnings plays if I catch them in the morning, and I'm just a terrible morning buyer. So Let's see, come on, internet speed, go faster. All right. So here we go. Here's what I'm talking about. So if you bought at 286, you buy on that breakout there, and you're risking off. Let's see, I'm going to delete all these. You buy on the breakout there, and you're risking off of 258. So that is a big risk, but also you size in accordingly, right? And also, if you saw the statistics at the time, it was like 20% shorted. So it definitely had potential for a short squeeze, especially because it finally released positive news after it got beaten down. And then we had this massive short squeeze that never hit your risk, and it just continued going higher. So these things definitely have potential. As I said, when it came to the 380s right there, it just continued going higher and higher. And the gap fill is from the 380s all the way to the 5s. You can see it just went straight up, right? Because there's no resistance there. The only resistance there is people trying to short and getting squeezed, and also people just taking profits. And that's ever since I saw this amazing play, that's when I decided, all right, I need to start paying attention to these. And ever since, I believe I have like a 60% success rate on these so far. It could be better, and mostly it's just due to me not playing it right, me entering in wrong positions that increases my risk. So aside from that, I mean, that's all I have for you. Just make sure you keep track of this exact pattern. It really is a great pattern. If you know what to look for, like I said, you need to look for something that's highly shorted, right? So it can cause short squeezes. Something with a low float, something with either press release or earnings. Good press release or earnings, also good volume, and is also breaking, having either a multi-day or a major daily breakout. And that resistance has been tested several times. And after it breaks past that resistance, you wait for a dip on that resistance, or you buy straight on the breakout and just risk smaller. And then you want to have a proper risk to reward based off the gap fill, right? The bigger the gap fill, the better. And also not only the gap fill, but also the risk after it breaks up. So as long as you know 2 to 1 risk to reward, then you're pretty much good. I don't know if you guys remember, what was it? STEM, STEM. I don't think I have a chart of that. That was sometime July of last year, like June of last year, and that thing ran. That was a crazy ass gap fill. I actually posted on Instagram later today to show you guys. But keep track of these charts. Make sure you study the charts that I have provided you guys on the Instagram page, because I don't post them just for me to post things. I do them so that you guys can have a visual to learn, versus what you guys do with. I'm not trying to compete against STEM sites, but I'm just saying it's better. I'm a visual learner, so if I can have someone have a description with a picture right next to it, I can learn far better. Before I close this, we'll check out how it's closing. Right now it's closing at 34. It's not closing exactly the 35, 36 breakout, so we'll see how it acts tomorrow. But it does have pretty good volume, and there's not that much reward at this point, just 3 cents. All right, guys, you all have a good one. Until next time, peace.